Good morning. Welcome to Sunday. Hi, Julie. To get started, see who else arrives. Today we're going to finish our dive into the elements of compassion, which are willingness, empathy, kindness, non-judgment, and altruism. And today we are going to talk about altruism. The idea of acting for the welfare and benefit of others without expecting a return. We're going to take a dive into that today. Also, a quickie announcement. I'm going to be teaching tomorrow night at 7:30 at Laura Cannon's Soul Community Meditation Group, if anybody wants to join us. The details of that will be in the chat here on Zoom, and they're on the Facebook page, and also in the notice I emailed out this week. So feel free to join us. Laura Cannon is a really great teacher. It's a pleasure and a privilege to fill in for her. So greetings to the folks I can see on Zoom, and greetings to the folks who I cannot see on Facebook and YouTube. It's good to be here with you this morning. So why don't we start off with a meditation? Let's find a comfortable meditation posture. If you're sitting, that might be a posture where you can feel alert but relaxed. It's best, if you can, to be sitting in a way so that your hips are slightly above your knees, and that tilts your back, your pelvis forward just a little bit, and straightens your back into its natural curve. We're not looking for like stiff. Just let your back be straight in its natural curve. And be tucking your chin, and it's like a little string pulls up the crown of your head, straightens up the top vertebrae in your neck without straining or stressing the muscles in your neck. For those of you who may be laying down, I've been contacted by people about that. The suggestion is to keep your arm on the floor with your hand in the air, like your arm is 90 degrees. That way, if you fall asleep, your arm will come down and you'll wake up. And even though I generally sit in meditation, I have fallen asleep. So it happens. Don't worry about it. So let's gently close our eyes. And let's start by just noticing the ambient temperature in the room or wherever it is we're sitting. How that feels in your skin and your body at this moment. What it feels like to let your body just settle into the seat or onto the floor or pillow, wherever. Just letting gravity do its thing. Let's take a few slow, deep breaths just to help get connected to the simplicity of the body sitting in this moment. And as you breathe out, just begin the process of softening and relaxing. Relaxing the muscles in your face. One more deep breath. Continuing to relax your shoulders and your chest and your stomach as you breathe out. And letting your breathing return to normal. Continuing on the out breath to just settle, let your body settle, let your mind settle to whatever degree you can. Receiving the in-breath and the out-breath, noticing any places or spots of tension you're holding. And just letting go of that as best you can. Just noticing the sensations of the body breathing in and out. Noticing the air moving in through your nose, a little cooler on the in-breath, a little warmer on the out-breath. Letting your stomach relax and hang instead of holding it in as we often do. And noticing the sensations of the belly expanding and the chest expanding on the in-breath. And then receding on the out-breath. Just breathing in and out. And as you breathe out, continue to relax the thinking muscle of the mind to whatever degree you can. Just letting the mind settle as sediment settles to the bottom of a still pool and the water becomes clearer. Noticing whatever thoughts come and go, and just noticing. It's okay. The mind does that. It's supposed to do that. If you can, breathing in and out. If you can, notice the stillness underneath the thought pattern on the surface of the waves. Thoughts will still arise. You may notice right away, you may not. But when you notice, just come back to resting your attention and awareness on the sensations of the body breathing in and out. Just focusing on the breath, the rhythm of the breathing. Noticing short breaths and long breaths. Letting your awareness ride the full sensations of an out breath from the top all the way to the bottom. Noticing the sensations of the body transitioning to an in-breath. Just staying with the sensations of the body breathing in all the way. And letting go for the exhale. If you find yourself thinking, it's okay. The mind bubbles up thoughts. You're not what you're thinking about. These are just little bubbles floating in the space that is you. Thoughts arise, feelings arise. They come, they go. When you notice, without recrimination, without wondering whether you're doing it right, just when you notice, bring your attention gently, compassionately. Slide your attention back to the breath. And as we come towards the end of this sitting, may the benefits of this practice enable us to view the world through the eyes of kindness and look out around us and see through the lens of compassion. And to move through the world, through our homes and our communities, for the welfare and benefit of others. May the benefits of this practice be a benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. Thank you for your practice. The usual announcements that I put in the Zoom chat, and I'll also copy them to the Facebook and YouTube postings. Information on how to find these sessions every week. My website, information on how to contact me by phone, email, or text. Also, as I said before, I'll be teaching tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time, substituting for Laura Cannon and her Soul Community Meditation group. Feel free to come and join us. It's a good group. So, for the last several weeks, we've been doing a deeper dive into the elements of compassion. Those being willingness, empathy, kindness, non-judgment, active listening, and altruism. And today we're going to finish up by talking about altruism. The Dalai Lama has had a lot to say about altruism, and he refers to it, my takeaway, he refers to it as kind of a enlightened selfishness. He said, being wise selfish means being compassionate. The root of happiness is altruism, the wish to be of service to others. He also famously said, for happiness, cherish others. He said, the root of happiness is altruism, the wish to be of service. He called altruism the best source of happiness. And the Buddha said, happiness does not depend on who you are or what you have, it depends on what you think. And directed us to relieve the suffering of the world, to work for the welfare and benefit of others. That's altruism. The Oxford Dictionary defines altruism as the belief or practice of selfless concern for the well-being of others. Selfless concern, that's the key. Kindness, compassion, and empathy without expecting anything to return in return. I mean, if we're committing acts of kindness with an expectation that it's somehow going to pay off, it's not kindness, it's transaction. Altruism by nature is not transactional. Engaging acts of altruism have been found to benefit an overall sense of well-being and happiness. Helping others can create a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and satisfaction. It increases our overall sense of well-being. And it helps to spread kindness, to inspire others to kindness. Now, there are elements: selflessness, empathy, concern for the greater good. It's not an exchange, as I said. It's a willing opening of the heart. And altruism includes empathy, understanding another person's suffering from the lens of your own, and a desire to relieve it. It includes turning towards our own suffering, not as a burden, but as a lens through which we can look at the world. My journey as a therapist started in the early 90s when I was volunteering for a grief counseling agency, paraprofessionals. And they assigned me to a woman who I haven't forgotten. And I'm listening to her, and I'm realizing that her story mirrors my story, down to the details. Grew up in an alcoholic, abusive home, and all that went along with that. And I realized, and I noticed something. She didn't have to spend a lot of time explaining what that was like. I just got it, and she knew that I got it, and it made her more comfortable. And that was a huge revelation for me. That was like a turning point in my whole life, when I realized that my experience of growing up in an abusive, alcoholic, addicted home was not a burden. It's actually a tool, a lens through which I can see other people's suffering, understand them, and offer just to witness, which I talked about last time, and to hear, and to have people feel seen and validated. And that feeds the nature of altruism, when we can take our own experience of suffering, however deep, embrace it as something that makes us whole, and bring that out into the world as compassion, as altruistic act. It speaks to concern for the greater good. And Buddha talked about this specifically in the Kalama Sutra, which has famously been misinterpreted as some version of "you can do whatever you want." He doesn't actually say that. But he does say, do not go upon what has been acquired by repeated hearing, nor upon tradition, nor upon rumor, nor upon scripture, nor upon what you surmise, or upon axiom, or upon specious reasoning, or upon bias towards one notion or another. And he said, don't even go on what I say. But he applied a test to it. He said, when you yourselves know these things are good, blameless, praised by the wise, undertaken and observed, these things lead to the benefit of happiness. Enter and abide in them. So it's an instruction to lean into the greater good. And compassion is really the emotional foundation for altruism. The desire to witness, the ability to witness suffering fearlessly and to want to relieve it. To witness suffering, sometimes notice the cringe, we cringe, and there's something that can come after that. Altruism, in turn, is the tangible expression of compassion, where we put our empathy and concern into action by assisting others and working towards the well-being of all. There is a Buddhist ritual that I practice at the end of all these meditations. And where we say, may the benefits of this practice be of benefit to all sentient beings. It's called the dedication of merit. And it's an integral part of Buddhist practice, and I think of mindfulness practice, to say, may what we do here be for the benefit of all. So, I also feel I need to say, it's easy to lapse into some sort of codependence with this. That, to me, is the near enemy of compassion. Buddha instructed us in the Dharmapada, do not forsake your well-being for the needs of others, no matter how great. It begins with self-care. And to the degree that we take care of ourselves and our own issues and suffering and narratives is the degree to which we model that to the people around us. So altruism also includes how we live in general. There is, in the 12-step literature, there is a paragraph that says, those of us who live this program don't carry the message, we are the message. And Thich Nhat Hanh said, my life is my teaching. To the degree that we live a compassionate existence and try to make it a priority to bring compassion and relief to the world while taking care of ourselves at the same time, is the degree to which we model that and bring that to the world. And then compassionate action can come altruistically from that space. So I invite you all to be kind and gentle with yourselves and to bring that as a starting point to bring kindness and gentleness for the benefit of all around you. Thank you for your kind attention. Comments, questions, criticisms? Can go back to being a cab driver? You know, I was a therapist for 20 years, and being a cab driver and being a therapist are very similar in a lot of ways. People tell you everything. So, alrighty then. If there's nothing more, I hope to see some of you tomorrow night. Julie, I'll probably see you tomorrow night. Missed you last week. All good. Yeah. May the benefits of the time we've spent together today be of benefit to all beings everywhere. Thank you. See you next week.
Thanks so much, Ken.
Thank you, brother.
Bless you, man.
Be well.
Be well.
Yeah.